Dawood Ibrahim, Hafiz Saeed and Zakir Rahman Lakhvi, as well as Masood Azhar being declared terrorists under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. A red corner notice has also been issued against these 4 designated terrorists who are currently based in Pakistan. Hafiz Saeed, keep in mind, is the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks mastermind and has been enjoying protection in Pakistan. Zakir Rahman Lakhvi is Lashkar's operational chief and key executor of the 26/11 attack. On the other hand, Jaish founder Masood Azhar has been responsible for several terror attacks, including the February 14th attack that took place in Pulwama, in which 40 of our CRPF Jawans were martyred. Our senior executive editor Gaurav Sawant is joining us live from our newsrooms with more details on this. Gaurav, you'd think that these terrorists would be the first to be mentioned in the UAPA list. But the reason that we've seen this delay is because there was no amendment to the UAPA. The fact that the amendment took place has really paved the way for this development.
This is India now moving very systematically to counter Pakistan's state-sponsored terror. Now, with this Gazette of India naming these terrorists and naming the activities for which they are wanted in India, now they've been put on that proscribed list. So, for example, Zakir Rahman Lakhvi is wanted in India. Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar is wanted in India. Masood Azhar, that Maulana of terror living in Pakistan, born in 1968, he's wanted in India. And if I just read out the list of his terror activities, it says he's wanted in India for the JNK assembly attack of 1st October 2001. He's wanted in India for the parliament attack of 13 December 2001. Then the attack on 2nd of January 2016 in Pathankot, terror attack on the BSF camp in Srinagar, and then the Pulwama terror attack of 14 February 2019, in which 40 security personnel made the supreme sacrifice of their lives. So it systematically lays down the charges against them. The fact that no action has been taken by a terror state Pakistan, India has put them on the proscribed list for further legal and penal action against them internationally.
Kamaljeet Sandhu is also joining us with more details. Kamaljeet, what really does this mean? The fact that these terrorists have been added and mentioned under the UAPA, is this merely a formality, or does this really mean trouble for these terrorists who are based in Pakistan?
Sure, you were asking a very pertinent question, and in the minds of all Indians, these are already terrorists. So why the need was required is something which needs to be explained. One is that when India went to UNSC, and remember, it was China who had blocked that particular move of Maulana Masood Azhar being blacklisted. That is when China actually asked India as to why there was no why these were not as proscribed as terrorists within India. And that is when it put India on the back foot. That is what the need, and that is why the UAPA was amendment. And this is not just a symbolic gesture where these names have been put. Hafiz Saeed, Maulana Masood Azhar, Zakir Rahman Lakhvi, the Dawood, who is the underworld Don. So all of these have a list of incidents where they've been named in terror-related incidents, and very clearly, in the minds of Indians, they're already terrorists. But it was the need of the hour to have that particular law to prescribe them as terrorists. It's not just symbolic, but also very, very actually when it comes to international norms. And India is now on par with the rest of the world when it comes to prescribing them under the UAPA. That's what has been done. And remember, this is going to be a shot in the arm because the list of terror activities is innumerable. From 26/11 to Pathankot to Uri to Nagrota, these are all Pakistan-based terror organizations. And remember, Hafiz Saeed and Zakir Rahman Lakhvi and Maulana Masood Azhar, who otherwise had a free hand terror run in Pakistan, are being put in the spotlight.
Right. Let me take this across to Hamza Amir, who's joining us live from Islamabad. Hamza, what this effectively also does is it puts considerable pressure on Pakistan, which is already facing that blacklist from the FATF. It's trying to project an image of having cracked down on terror safe havens in the country. But considering that all these terrorists mentioned in the first terror list under the UAPA are pretty much in Pakistan, being sheltered by the Pakistan government, there will be questions on whether Pakistan will finally act.
I'm surprised to know that these people against which, India has been demanding Pakistan since 2011 after 26/11 Mumbai terror attack, over and over again, sending dossiers over dossiers to Pakistan, wanting them to act against them. But India's own list of terrorists did not have them, in there, and that is very, very surprising. It would not go well with what.
Apologies, we've lost that connection with Hamza, but essentially this is the first terror list that's come out. That's why you've got the names of the biggest terrorists now being mentioned under the UAPA. This is a much needed step. It's been done considering, of course, the amendment that was made in the UAPA in the previous parliament session. But Gaurav, Kamaljeet and Hamza, thanks for joining us on this broadcast.